We are now joined by Rebel HQ's Emma Vigeland. Emma, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me, John. It was a slog, and I'm in an office space with multiple people, so you're gonna have to see how quiet they are.
Okay, well, fingers crossed, but we're always glad to have you here. A few different stories we want to talk to you about. First of all, we've been talking about the failings of the media throughout the show today, and one story that I wanted to ask you about was the New York Times did an article, the entirety of which was just going through all of the insults Donald Trump has used against Democratic primary contenders, including when he used it, listing them all per person. What did you think about this use of the New York Times' resources?
Oh, well, the New York Times has really been on a roll recently, as has the Washington Post, with just producing fluff pieces for particularly no reason. The George Papadopoulos story was something that just shook me to the core of my being, trying to display him as this kale smoothie drinking California high flying individual. So I didn't think that that was the best use of journalistic resources. But again, like the New York Times does some good journalism and some phenomenal journalism. It's just a part. It kind of goes to show that even the most esteemed media sources are not inundated from and are still subject to all of these media criticisms that we have about superficiality, about focus on personality over substance, and not being watchdogs, just kind of being TMZ, DC.
So I'm curious, do you think there should be some sort of like heavier responsibility? It essentially was furthering Trump's abuse. This specific piece kind of like pointing out his insults. If we have decided that in that context, his usage of Pocahontas is a racial slur, why put it on the front page and point out again that he keeps saying it just separate from any specific news story? Just, hey, just wanna like further hurt your feelings, Elizabeth Warren. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that it just plays into Trump's strengths, which is to label people the way he wants to. And so the fact that the Times is going to further those labels is disheartening. And also, they should take a look in the mirror about that. I don't think that that was their intention. They've been a media source that has been critical of Donald Trump, as has much of the media. They've woken up to the dangers of Donald Trump and have decided to be more watchdogs than they had been during the Obama administration, when in many ways it was more needed. I mean, obviously Obama was an infinitely better president, but because he was so charismatic and smart, a lot of the things that he did that I think were harmful were swept under the rug. But the media has decided to pay attention, but sometimes they pay attention in the wrong ways. And calling more attention to his insidious nicknames and racist ones towards Elizabeth Warren, for example, is not the way to go about it.
And it also, I guess it is one article in one outlet, but it worries me that going into this election, like, is this the sort of carefree, approach that they're gonna take to how Donald Trump campaigns? Like, they already gave him so much free coverage and publicity in the last go around. Now he has the bully pulpit, he's the president. And so I feel like literally anything that he wants to make this election about, this worries me that they will help him to do that. Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.